Hey Lovies, welcome or welcome back to my channel, Aries Only, where I channel messages for Aries only. Today we're doing a reading to see what message your spirit guides currently have for you. So let's just go ahead and jump into this reading. Okay, what do Aries spirit guides want to speak to them about today? What is the message that they want to talk about? What do they want to say? The vow and gnosis. Let's just get one. What do Aries spirit guides want? Okay, that's obviously way too many. What message? Okay. Ooh. The Destroyer, number 23, with the riddle. Okay. So there is an energy of ending things. Number 23, it reduces to a 5. There could be things shifting and changing in your guys' life right now. You could feel that like the tide is turning. The Destroyer could be a little bit of a scary kind of a card to get, because it's like, oh, like what's going to be ending? It's change can be scary, obviously. But I feel like this is going to be, I'm thinking about how like destruction is such a part of the creative process, whereas if you want to build something new, form new relationships, create a new version of yourself, things like that, the old does have to go. There is that period where we're like letting go of the old way of being. Let's use an example. Say that you're somebody that is a people pleaser. You're somebody that wants to become a more sovereign kind of a person, more autonomous, more in their own element. I just wanted to say, more so like a stronger, more decisive, able to stand up for themselves kind of a person. Like those people pleasing tendencies like need to go, and it is a process. I feel like this is also saying that there is going to be, this isn't going to be an overnight kind of thing where, oh, I just made up my mind that I'm not this person anymore, so I'm not. Like there's those old habits, those old tendencies are going to creep in, and that destruction process is what Spirit is drawing our attention to right now. So let's get some more cards. Hold on. Let's see. What do we want to get? What else is going on here? Yeah, and it's going to take time to build things up. Even if, let's use an example where you are entering into a new relationship, or you want to, say you met somebody, those old things that you used to be loyal to are going to need to be washed away, let go of, released, worked through, and things like that by the book. Yeah, I'm getting, again, this is like a slow process. Oh yeah, look, between worlds. I feel like that's where we're at right now. We're like entering into this new space, but we're leaving behind the old, what has, you know, died, gotten stale, gotten old. We're leaving that behind, and we are like growing little by little. There's like this feeling of building, but of doing things, of not rushing, and doing things slowly and letting things develop naturally, doing things with a wise mindset. So this is not jumping into like a brand new relationship the second that you leave an old one. This is allowing yourself to process through that pain, allowing that to end, kind of examining the ways that you were, the way that this person treated you. Okay, like what boundaries do we need to work on? What red flags am I going to look out for next time? How do I want to be treated? It's about also with by the book, I'm getting like a feeling of like you need to grow as a person. Like it's a good time for you to get to know yourself. Like what sort of things do I look for in a relationship? Like what am I actually looking for? Get clear on that. I feel like because if we're in this destructive process now where we're letting something go, or even maybe we have already, but we're still like we're halfway through, is kind of the vibe with this between worlds. It's almost like we're one leg in, one leg out. So it's like we're trying to have the new, but maybe the old keeps like cropping up. Maybe old residual issues that you've had. Say you do meet somebody new, maybe you already have, and I'm relating this to love, but it doesn't have to be love. This could be about you wanting to start a new career. Like, I think I already used a few examples, just wanting to become a different version of yourself. And okay, let's use another example instead of love, because we already talked about that. Let's say, okay, now let's say you want to be like a more organized, neat person, but you're like a mess. Like, I don't know, with the destroyer energy, it can get kind of messy energy. So it's like you make, you know, a chore list or whatever, like you create a new routine for yourself by the book. And then, but your old habits, like your old ways of being are just so ingrained that it takes time to like let that go and be like, okay, this is my new habit that like when I use a dish, I wash it right away and I put it away. This is my new habit that I make my bed every morning. This is my new habit that when I get home from work, I immediately take a shower, do my whole like skincare routine and all that. Whatever your routine is, the new person that you want to be, if that's something that you're doing right now, it's like your old habits are gonna like very strongly be like, no, but let's just go, like, we just got home from work, like we're tired, we earned this rest, like let's go lay down, like, and do whatever. Like, you know, it's kind of that process of like fighting off the old so that the new can come in is like the vibe that I'm getting. Okay, let's see what else we can get. What else do Aries spirit guides want to talk about? Contract. I feel like, yeah, this whole like by the book and contract, and then we have all tied up. I feel like, yeah, you have recently, and this is a number 23 too, so I'm really relating this. I feel like you could have been in a situation, again, you could have been stuck in a way of being, stuck at a job, stuck in a certain mindset where you felt trapped or stuck for quite some time, and then you've really, it's been almost like a radical shift or something lately, recently, where you just felt like you were able to, like, you know, jump out of it. And I feel like things, you were able to jump out of it. Is that how I wanted to say that? You were able to kind of shake your constraints loose, maybe is a better way of saying it. You realized almost that you had entered unknowingly into a contract with this all tied up. Which word did I just put that deck? Oh, it's like you found yourself in a situation, and I was kind of getting this with the riddle too, where it was like almost like a mess that I can't, like a riddle I can't figure out, like a situation I can't escape from, a way of being that I feel that I'm stuck with. This is the me that I'm going to be. This is how I am. Door to romance, so maybe there's romantic stuff going on here. But maybe you have a certain idea that you can only be in a relationship and be treated badly, or and you sort of identify with that and think that that's true, and that's what we're destroying. And I feel like no matter what you're doing, whether it's a job or a relationship or whatever, it is going to be about the way that you interact with these situations. How are you going to interact with your future boyfriend, girlfriend, romantic interest, your future boss, so you don't get treated in a way that maybe you didn't appreciate at your previous job? How are you going to, you know, interact with your belongings and your possessions, so that way you're not just like on autopilot, you're like actively, like, you're taking a more active role. Like with by the book, I'm getting like we're making lists. Contract also is like a pen on paper, but this is us destroying our old contract and like creating a new contract for ourselves, like metaphorically, whereas we're like, okay, like this is the kinds of things that I want. I'm only signing on the dotted line if I agree with everything that's in this contract. Like being more decisive, realizing that you have more power to decide the things that you want in your life. And if something comes in and it's not right, you can say no to it. You don't have to sign that contract. I also see that there's books here, so I feel like there's something about like, do your research. If it's a company that you want to join, maybe talk to some of the employees, like, is this a good place to work? If this is a new relationship, you know, that's what dating is all about. Like, date, see if you like the way that they treat you. Are they treating you like a gentleman? Are they treating you with respect and courtesy? Are they going by the book and opening your doors for you, pulling out your chair, things like that? If you like that kind of thing. I don't know, but just like make sure that they're treating you in the excuse me, in whichever like designated way that you want to be treated yourself. Again, not that you know, if someone doesn't treat you in the exact way that you're thinking you want them to treat you, you can't be with them. But, you know, make sure you communicate. Like, okay, like, I'm not signing on this contract unless, like, we agree to, like, compromise about certain things, or this is something that I don't like, this is a deal breaker for me, then there's no contract. Like, make sure you're clear about your needs. That's why it's important to get clear on your needs, so that way you can articulate them when there's, like, another person in the picture, a boss, like, you're clear with your boundaries. And then you feel more, when you're clear on what you want and you know what you're going to accept and what you're not going to accept, it gives you almost like more of a sense of peace and allows, like, takes away a lot of the anxiety. Like, okay, like, if it doesn't work out, I can just communicate my needs. If they're not met, I can leave the situation. I don't have to stay tied to something anymore. Like, I don't have to sign a contract that I don't want to be a part of. Let's see what else is going on with you guys. We have North Node in Taurus in the 5th house. Is this Taurus? Yeah, I think this is Taurus. And the 5th house. I don't know which way this is supposed to go, but let me just make sure. Yeah, this is Taurus. Sometimes I get Taurus and Libra, but I saw Libra. It's different. All right, so North Node in Taurus. I feel like the North Node is about stepping outside of your comfort zone, and we have Taurus in the 5th house. The 5th house, I feel like you're entering a lighter, more secure period of your life. I feel like you could have done a lot of shadow work. You could have been in this destruction energy. So even when this card came out, you could have been like, oh, like more destruction. Like, I can't. But I don't feel like it's that. I feel like it's really like recognizing that this old you, these old patterns, like, this is always going to be a part of you, and it's an important part of you that you learned from, but now you're ready to, like, step out of it. But, like, you're still, like, happy that you have this knowledge. You're still happy that you had these experiences, because, like, you know, like, how to recognize what's not aligning with the direction you're trying to go in. Does that make sense? So yeah, let me see, what else do we want to get here? Oh, let's get these. But yeah, the 5th house, Taurus, I feel like you're very clear on what you value and what you value in other people and in yourself, and the kind of life that you want to have and the fun that you want to have. It's like you've done a lot of work on yourself, I feel like, or you're still in that process, but it's wherever you're at, it's going to allow you to open up to different other things, like outside of yourself, outside of your own comfort zone. And you're going to start, like, realizing that things that you never thought were possible are suddenly becoming, like, possible. Like, dreams that you never thought you would align with. Maybe you wouldn't have thought about it that way, but just things that you thought were out of your reach, things that seemed like impossible. You're going to be, like, aligning with these kinds of things. Oh, what was the song I shuffled for you? Thank You Next by Ariana Grande. Yes, that's exact, like, thank you next. Like, okay, like, thank you for the lesson. Like, I learned, now I know what I want, what I don't want. Next, I'm ready to move on to the next thing. And again, like, if that doesn't work out, next, thank you next. Like, okay, thank you, I see what you're offering here. I don't think that's going to work out, but thank you so much. Like, you know, it's just like, make sure this is something that really feels right to you and makes you, like, hum and feels like harmonious. Okay, so let's see what else, what's going on for Aries right now. We have the moon, and what else? I love this. Mercury. Okay, Mars in reverse. Move forward and defend self. I feel like that's in reverse because this is like a situation where you're kind of sitting back and letting other people show you, letting situations show you. I feel that, hold on, let me just put this here. Okay. This is more about, this isn't you doing things just for the sake of doing them with the Mars energy in reverse. So for an example, the routines that we were talking about, trying to become a neater person. This isn't you just doing it so, like, other people will congratulate you. This is just, or not congratulate you, but, like, look at you differently, or, like, say it's like a parent or something. Oh, like, that's always, like, giving you a hard time. This isn't so that they'll, like, back off. Like, basically, you don't have to defend yourself anymore. This is to satisfy your own emotional needs. This is to nurture yourself, because it feels good when you walk into, like, a nice clean apartment and it feels nice and fresh, and, like, things smell good and things look good, and your bed is made and your clothes are folded and put away, and you can put your dirty clothes in the hamper so they're not sprinkled all over the house. Like, do you what I'm saying? Like things like that. This isn't about, having a boyfriend just to have a boyfriend and just so you can feel like you have somebody and you feel more secure. This is about, this feels good to me. This is, this person makes me happy. I feel very comfortable around them. Like I feel very satisfied emotionally. I feel like I'm heard. I feel like I'm seen. I feel like this person respects me and values me. Maybe you had some issues with your own self-worth here with this Taurus energy, where you didn't feel that you were worthy of certain things. So you maybe accepted behavior that you just thought was like par for the course or something like that. I'm getting that, like, oh, all guys are like this. Like, you know, no one ever has a perfect relationship, which is true. No one has a perfect relationship. But if you're satisfied emotionally, regardless if some issues come up, like it's going to feel perfect to you. It's going to be filled with, you're looking for something that makes you feel good with the 5th house, romance, fun, playfulness. Like you want romance. Maybe you're like, oh guys, people aren't romantic anymore. It's just kind of like a F-boy culture. No, like maybe you have like old fashioned values I'm getting with the Taurus energy. So, you kind of think like, oh, romance is dead. Like no one's like that anymore. Really. It's just kind of like, having these hopes is kind of silly, but like, no, that's not true. I think you're realizing like, no, like I can expand out of this. Maybe I was just afraid to find something real because it's scary. Like, you know, it's like when you're kind of dating someone that you know it's not going to work out, like when it doesn't work out, it still hurts, but it's kind of like, like, you know, you kind of knew it was coming. But like when you really feel that, oh, this is a real, like this could be leading to marriage or something serious with this contract energy, that's a little bit scarier. And it's like the way she's blindfolded, it's like you just have to trust, you know, your own feelings basically, which can be scary, especially if you've gotten yourself into some sticky situations in the past. You might feel like my judgment isn't good, this is going to be embarrassing kind of a thing. But I think Spirit's like, you're going to like be with this book energy and this Mercury energy, think, learn, network, and communicate. This is all about not being afraid to like show up, try to date somebody new. We're just going to use this example, I guess, but because I feel like it's the easiest when we're talking about a relationship, where we're going to see what they're doing. We're going to like be taking it in. We're going to network. It's like, yeah, going out, meeting different types of people, communicating, talking, seeing how we feel, learning what types of people resonate with us, what types of people don't. Again, kind of like what we were talking about within ourselves, but now it's like expanding outwards. Nurture self and others. This is about the self and also other people. So this is about the relationship that you have with yourself, really laying the groundwork and the foundation for the way that you're going to interact with other people, even if it's in a professional setting or a romantic one, your family, whoever it is. You're going to be having like a new experience with these people. You're going to be showing up differently and you're going to be getting different treatment back, I would say. All right, so let's see. What is coming up? What events, emotions, and experiences are coming up next for Aries that we need to know about? Do we want to take all these? I don't think so. All right. What events, emotions, and experiences? We have the 6 of Cups, the 6 of Water, the Empress, beautiful, the Queen of Swords, the Messenger of Earth, which is the Knight of Pentacles. What else? Oh, that's too many. Just get one. The Hanged Man. Okay. And we have the 8 of Wands on the bottom of the deck. There's definitely movement happening in your life. There's like energy shifting and moving quickly with the 8 of Wands here. I feel like there could be like a lot of romantic offers coming in or something like that. There could be just a renewal. There's like an overall sense of things moving, things changing, happening quickly. This isn't a slow process, but also it could feel very like a blur, whereas like, oh my god, what am I doing? Like there's new experiences coming in, but I still feel like the same old me. Like, am I that same person? I feel like there's this identity crisis or something kind of happening here. Let me get my little cards here. All right, so for the Six of Cups, the Six of Water is all about emotional harmony, nostalgia, soulmate energy, things like that. The fact that it's coming out under this moon energy. We also have sensitive, yeah. Oh, look at her holding her solar plexus chakra. I feel like there's something, you could have issues with the solar plexus. I'm seeing also this big yellow circle. You could be sensitive to criticism, embarrassment, shame, and things like that. You could struggle with shame, and that could have been a lot of the healing work that you've done, letting go of a lot of past feelings of not being good enough. Remember I said you might not have had that self-worth or something. So I feel like moving forward, as you're trying to navigate, this almost looks like a navigation thing to me. I don't know why, like on like a ship or something. But as you're trying to navigate these new experiences that spirit is bringing forward towards you, it's old again. This is like, I feel like we're getting more into like what exactly is going to be cropping up here. Like I feel that emotionally it's going to remind you maybe of past pain. Like you're going to feel familiar feelings of like shame and pain that are maybe residual, that are maybe just coming up to be kind of like washed away. But it's almost going to make you feel that nothing has changed, if that makes sense. You're going to feel that you're doomed to always feel this way. I feel like this is like one part of the process, not like this whole reading. Does that make sense? But you're going to, things that you're sensitive about, and even just using that example of trying to clean your house, you're going to feel that like, it's just impossible. Like I can never be an empress. Like an empress is like somebody that is like domestic goddess kind of a thing. That's how I would describe like a modern version of an empress. Like obviously on the Rider-Waite Tarot, she's in the field with her wheat. Okay, people don't really, that's not what the ladies be doing nowadays. Like this empress, like current modern empress would be somebody, you know, in like a nice house with some white cabinets and like, I don't know, just like a beautiful home with like a nice garden and like, you know, all the top of the line appliances, you know, it's kind of like that, gleaming kitchen countertops, like, you know, not a hair out of place, looking gorgeous, whatever. But, like, I feel that you could struggle, if you're struggling with that, you could feel like you'll never, like, you could see somebody, like, you could see a version of like a modern empress over there and feel like you're all the way like over here, kind of like this by the book, you're here and this empress energy is here. It's such an impossible mountain for me to climb to get to that where I feel that way. But I think spirit's like, no, like it's just, you're gonna take it step by step. We're gonna get there step by step. All you have to do is decide that you want to be different. This version of you and this version of you, they're both you. It's just that this version of you does different things every day. They decide to do things differently. They get up and make their bed instead of just getting up and watching TV, you know, or they put the TV on while they're making their bed, whatever, you know, we can incorporate both. But it's literally you. It's just you that does things differently. If we're using this in the context of a relationship, oh, this is the kind of person that gets treated well, and then it's me who gets treated like shit by all the people that I date. Well, this is a version of you that makes different decisions and does things differently. This is a version of you that when somebody shows that they don't respect you or that they don't care for you or they're not considerate to you, this is a version of you that's going to be like, well, I'm not going to date some, and decide to go a different way, or decide to communicate that to the person directly and see if it changes. And like, if it doesn't, then they're gonna like destroy it and leave. And this destroyer energy may still have a place now where, again, like something, it's like, I feel like you're in a phase of your life where you're kind of like experimenting. That's how I'm feeling this. We're experimenting. We're trying things on for size. We're seeing if it works. Does we like this? Do we like that? If we don't, we're like letting it go. Okay, this didn't work out. Cool. Having that mentality, I think, is going to shift things for you, because you're going to just be like, okay, this made me feel sensitive. Whoa, what's going on in the solar plexus right now, or in the sacral chakra? I feel like you could feel, whatchamacallit, there could be things related to being intimate with people again, even with this moon, the satisfying emotional needs. It could be something like that. So there could be issues of like attractiveness and things like that as well. Okay, the Empress energy. What are we trying to say here? Daredevil. Okay, so with the Daredevil energy, with the Empress, I feel like it's almost like, it feels very daring for you to even imagine yourself in this way. Again, I don't know, Daredevil is kind of a weird one to come out. Let me get one more. Just to see. Gamer. Interesting. It's like you feel fake. I feel like you feel fake. You feel like, this isn't me. I'm not this person. Like, I feel that you think that by trying to embody this Empress energy, you're faking it somehow, or it's just like someone's gonna come along and like pull a mask off of you and be like, ha, see, they're not an Empress, they're just a loser, or something like that. But I feel that the way to cultivate this Empress energy isn't to just like adorn yourself with like a lot of accessories and do a lot of makeup or dress differently. I mean, you could experiment, but again, this is your experimentation era. So like, look at it like that. Don't think of it as being fake. Think about it as like discovering who you really are and what you really like. Even when you're like shopping for clothes, I know that's weird, but like, do you ever like wear a color, like a shirt, and someone's like, oh, that's like your color? Oh, okay. Like, so like, if you get compliments from other people as well, like try to like look for more things that like are that color, or look up your body type online. Another thing you could do is look up celebrities that you share the same like face shape with, or hair color, skin tone, and things like that, and see the kind of makeup that they use, because they have professionals around them like telling them, makeup artists and stylists and things like that. So what type of clothes did they wear? Look up a celebrity that has your body type, then look up one that has like your face coloring, your eye and your hair color, and see what sort of makeup they use and what kind of clothes they wear and things like that, so you can sort of get an idea. But when you're shopping for clothes or anything like that, it's like, what makes you excited and feel, ooh, I have to have that? That's like resonating with your heart. It's not fake, it's not inauthentic. It's not fake to believe that you deserve respect. I feel like this isn't just about clothes and makeup. This goes deeper than that, but like, that could just be one surface example that's giving you like sort of a twinge of shame and embarrassment and falsity. I don't know, inauthenticity or something like that. So I think Spirit's like, don't look at it like, this is the new me and I'm pretending to be someone I'm not. Look at it like, I'm trying this on for size, and like, how do I feel about this? Like, I'm gonna just experiment and see what's the real me, because maybe I don't even know yet. Because like, how do I get clear on what I want if I don't even know who I am or what I want? And this is like the process of uncovering all that. I love this. Queen of Swords. Warm in reverse. I feel that you're afraid of bearing your heart and your soul to somebody. You're afraid of opening up. With the Queen of Swords is a very cold energy, and the fact that we have warm in reverse, you could be afraid that everything from the past has like destroyed the warmth in you and made it impossible for you to open up again. This is very heavy energy. I feel that you feel like you've seen too much. Even these eyes looking out, it's like you've seen too much. You're afraid to see more. You don't want to know things that are going to make you upset. You're afraid that everything that you've been through has turned you into stone. I feel like you're a very realistic person, because like I said, you've seen too much. You have a lot of wisdom, but you feel like in the process of acquiring this wisdom, it has also taken your warmth and your ability to love. Even the way this Empress is holding that wheat over her heart, it's like you're covering up your heart. You don't want, she's covered, her heart is covered here and here. There's things in front. So I feel that that's something that you're worried about. And I think it is all about finding that balance between, we have this like Mercury and Moon energy, like your thoughts, your conscious mind, your ability to discern and be decisive, and be like a critical thinker about what's going on around you. And the moon, which is your own emotional self and how you feel and that intuitive hit and things like that. So it's all about marrying those two together. Marrying? Did I say marrying? Okay. Marrying those two things, those two aspects of your personality. And it's tough though. It's easier said than done. Because a lot of times your emotions you can feel like strong emotions or something that still isn't right for you. And also you can feel anxiety and worry about things that are right for you. So it's just a process. It's just like a process that needs to be undertaken again by this like experimentation process, and just like have some fun with it. Look at it in like a loose way. Like, oh, I'm just going to see, how does this feel? Like, how does this new me, like, what do they wake up and do every day? What would they put on? What would be their morning routine? What would be their night routine? What would they have for lunch? What would their name be? What would their dream job be? Like, what would their dream boyfriend be like? What would their dream house look like? It's kind of like manifesting, but just like really getting clear on all the things that you want. And then like once you have what you want like in mind, then you can start thinking about like the steps you could take to get all these things. But yeah, I feel like I want to clarify this one with the Queen of Air. Like, what are your spirit guides trying to say here? The Nine of Cups. I feel like they're saying practice being more warm and giving to yourself first and foremost. I feel that you're afraid that you're going to overgive to other people. So I think what Spirit is saying is practice putting yourself first, practice making yourself the number one priority, where you can still nurture yourself and others. Yes, your own emotional needs come first. You know that song If I Were a Boy by Beyonce, when she's talking about like, there's a part where she's like, I'd put myself first, make the rules as I go. Yeah, that whole, like that part in the second verse, I think it is. But if I were a boy, I'd put myself first, because like boys always put themselves first and girls don't. Like, I mean, that's not necessarily true. Like, I'm sure there's plenty of dynamics where it's like the opposite, and like, you know, where there's men in relationships with women, or women with women, or whoever, whatever. But like, wherever you are, where there's like a selfish woman involved is what I'm trying to say. So it doesn't necessarily have to be that, but maybe you're somebody that doesn't put themselves first. So that's what you need to learn but that's what you need to be doing right now. Putting yourself first and making yourself the center of your world here. So let's say that like this is you, and then this is a person that you want to date. This is your mom and your family life. This is your job. This is, I don't know, your chores here. This is your pets. I don't know, whatever you have here, like in your life, basically. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, make yourself the center though, and make your emotional needs come first. And was that reversed? I don't remember. And you won't have to worry about what you give away to other people, because you're already satisfying your own emotional needs, and you are learning, you know how to be selfish when you have to be, and sometimes you have to be. And it's important to remember that. So the Knight of Pentacles. All right, we got to wrap up this reading soon because I got to go to work. I'm not supposed to work today, but it's annoying. Okay, I have to work on my day off. Childish, Messenger of Earth. I feel like, yeah, there is this like battle in you of feeling like it's like your obligation to help other people, and feeling that almost like it's immature. You can have other people around you that are trying to tell you basically that you're wrong to feel the way that you feel, and that for wanting more out of life. For instance, say you're dating somebody and they do something that like upsets you, and you're like, I just feel like my person wouldn't do that. They wouldn't act that way. They wouldn't disrespect me like that. And maybe it's somebody else is like, oh, come on, you're overreacting. But you know what? It doesn't feel right to you. And again, maybe you feel like you just want to cut it off, or maybe you feel like you want to discuss it with them, whatever it is. But it's like, maybe other people are like, oh, you're being ridiculous. Like, you're being childish. Oh, you're being immature. Like, come on. Like, that's not real life. Like, blah, blah, blah. And you're just like, but it doesn't feel right to me in my heart. Like, I know that it doesn't. So it's kind of this push and pull of like what society deems appropriate in a situation, and what you feel is appropriate or inappropriate for you. And you're allowed to make that distinction for yourself. And again, with this whole contract energy, like, before I sign this contract, I just want you to know that, like, it's not okay to treat me like that. Or, you know, I'm not going to even think about signing this contract right now. Like, you got to, like, step up your game here. Are you going to show me that, like, you're worth signing a contract for? Like, are you somebody that's worth, you know, kind of opening up and taking this chance for? And again, like, this is like, if you're holding other people to these higher standards, like, that's what it is. It's about your standards. And maybe people are telling you that your standards are too high, but you're like, no, like, this is how I want to be treated. And it's like, you have to be dignified and stand strong in that. And, you know, you're like, I'm not asking for any standards that I myself wouldn't, like, hold myself to. You know, I feel like you're willing to hold yourself to these same standards. So you're like, well, why should I be giving that? And they're not. Like, no, like, we're both going to be, or we're going to talk about it and, like, come to some sort of compromise or agreement, but it's not just going to be that I'm accepting whatever. Like, no. I feel like you're not afraid to destroy things, and that's a place that you need to be in right now. We also have secretive with the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is all about, I feel like, okay, this Hanged Man with this Mercury energy is like, I feel like this could be a situation where maybe something happened where you did feel upset about something. I feel like this is about a specific situation, or this is going to happen where you might feel some type of way with the Hanged Man. You might feel upset, and you don't speak on it. This might be, and you're like upset about something. I feel like there could be a situation like that happening where maybe you're just trying to put on a happy face or trying to act like nothing is bothering you because you don't want to be too much. You don't want to seem like, you know, oh, like you're being childish or you're being this or that. You know, people, like, you always hear people call other people like, oh, like a little snowflake or something like that, you know. Like you're too sensitive. Maybe that's something that you're told, that you're too sensitive. And maybe you're just kind of, you just don't want to hear it. You just would rather be like, yeah, whatever. Like, I'm too sensitive, and just kind of not speak on it. Maybe that's something that, I feel like this is like the old you kind of coming up again to be like cycled through and worked through. Because I feel like this is almost like a test in a way where you need to speak on what is upsetting you with the Hanged Man. Don't keep it a secret. If the opportunity presents, make sure you speak on it. Make sure you say what you need to say. I feel like Spirit is really wanting you to do that. And in a nice way, just almost in a way where like, oh no, I totally get it. You're totally free to do whatever you want. It's just that this is the way that I need to be treated or spoken to or, you know, respected. And that's that kind of thing. Okay, so let's see what else we can get. What other advice? And then we're going to close out this reading. Make lists and plans. You don't always have to follow them, but it helps to have a reference point. I love that. I feel like that's a whole by the book. Get clear on what you want and what you want to do here. And it can always change. You're experimenting, but like, let's make the list and try things out on the list. Tell yourself, I support me and everyone else is just gravy. That's what I was getting from this Queen of Swords. You don't need these other people. You need to get to a space where like you're emotionally satisfied and you're emotionally selfish a little bit, and then you can try to like give to other people, and you'll see other people as just kind of like these great nice guys to have fun with. From Sex and the City, I just said that. Put on a little lipstick, you'll be fine. I feel that, again, with this whole experimentation with your style is something that I'm getting, like who you are, what would this person dress, what kind of makeup would they do, that kind of thing. Just try to like get into that energy. A lot of pink cards coming out. Honestly, as long as you're happy, who the hell cares? And that's like the barometer, the only barometer that you need to go by. Tell yourself who you are. Yeah, there's that whole like imposter syndrome thing happening here where I feel that you could just be feeling like it's weird or it's fake to try new things, or like, I've always been this person, like, how do I change that? But I think Spirit's like, you can change whatever you want. Destroy the old, start the new, like whatever it takes here, it's up to you. Let's get these and then we are out of here, guys, because I gotta go to work. Sorry, I'm like, meh, annoyed about it. Thursdays are for relaxing for me. Okay, let's see. And Mondays. Okay, wait, let's see. What advice does Aries need right now? Make sure you don't start seeing yourself through the eyes of those who don't value you. You need to know your worth even when others don't. You are not what people think of you. Good. And have those high standards. Who cares if other people don't like it? Have more faith in yourself. Be proud of how you're navigating. Oh, when we're talking about navigating every curveball that life throws at you. How you deal with those times shows your true inner resilience. Nothing can break that. That in itself is an inspiration for others. Keep shining your light. I love that. That's kind of reminding me of Thank You Next. How she handles pain. Like, that shit's amazing. Like, I feel like that you're unbreakable. Not unbreakable, but like you could break and be fine and put yourself back together. Let's say it like that. What else? Any other last minute guidance? You need to ignore what everyone else is doing and achieving. Your life is about breaking your own limits and outgrowing yourself to live your best life. You are not in competition with anyone else. Plan to outdo your past, not other people. I love that. And one more. One or two. We'll see what comes out. What is the last advice for Aries? Okay. Oh, we lost it. No matter how much you are being tested or pushed right now, stand your ground and push back. Believe in your own integrity and self-worth so much that no one can get in your way. Have the confidence to move forward. You can and will do this. Okay, so I think we're going to leave it there, guys. Hope you enjoyed this reading. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!